the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, and Jerry Keyser.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, November 4th.
Wait a minute. I'm offended. I just noticed, and I noticed a long time ago, that there's an 8 after the S on the countdown, but there's no 5 after the 3. Why can't I have a 35 if you can have an 8S?
Because we have to count down from 35, and that would just take way too long.
You don't have to do...
You just now noticed the 8S in the countdown?
No. I knew that a long time ago. It just... I'm offended.
Oh, I'm sorry
You
that offends
got to be able to add a little 5 like you added a little S. You're the computer guru. Come on, man.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Well, live, coming at you live from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio 2.0. It's the Hammer Down Race Report presented by Oakshade Raceway. Tonight on the show, we'll be speaking to our 2021 Attica Raceway champions, Trey Jacobs, Devin Shiels, and we'll be trying to give Jamie Miller a call. He's on the road, so it's kind of he's like, you can try and call me. So we'll try and call him a little bit later. But we got Trey and Devin sitting in the green room here. We'll bring them up in just a moment. First, I have to remind you to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Oh, and you may be wondering where Jerry is. He's sick. He's not with us. So
he's not COVIDing, I guess.
He's fluing because he was at Montpelier over the weekend.
Yeah,
for their rainy race, the Monster
Could
Mash.
be pneumonia-ing, but
he might be. I don't know. So hopefully we'll have him back next week. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. You can, of course, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And, of course, check us out at hammerdownracingreport.com. And, again, for the third time in 4 years, we have been nominated for the
world's best podcast.
Or according to Toledo City Papers, Best of Toledo.
Oh, yeah.
World Toledo. That's close. Under the media category, under podcasts, go ahead and vote for us. I know what that text is. That's just reminding me. I forgot to click on this little guy right there, showing the scroll. Anyways, yeah. So you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/HammerdownRacingReport. Got a pin post on there. You can vote for us once a day if you want.
Every day.
I was kind of hoping we wouldn't be nominated this time, so I wouldn't have to keep bugging people. But thanks, you guys nominated us again. So yeah,
I put
which is pretty cool.
I put a post up on my Facebook page.
It was all your fault then.
Yeah,
right?
a lot. No, about voting, and a lot of people did. So yeah.
So you got until I think December 15th.
Yep.
So every day for the next month and a half. Go ahead and
every day.
And if you have multiple email addresses, by all means.
And while you're there, vote for Ryan Weekman for best meteorologist because we know he is.
There you go. Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest meet to race every Saturday night during race season. Follow them on social media or visit oakshaderaceway.com. The awards banquet coming up on Saturday, December 4th. That's going to be at the Fulton County Fairgrounds. Last year, unable to have that, so it'd be nice having that this year. Also have to thank Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, manufacturer of several different models of silhouette decoys using digitally enhanced detailed images, the highest quality materials, and the most advanced production methods. Each style offers waterfowl hunters different price ranges, options, and unmatched durability. Check out webfootdecoys.com or call 888-642-6369. Also, freeze frame photos for all your racing photo needs. From action shots to victory lane, they have all your favorite drivers. They also do special photo shoots by appointment. Freeze frame photos, special moments frozen in time, 419-476-9978. And they have a bunch of items that make some pretty good Christmas gifts this year.
They
like
really
custom
do.
Calendars.
If you happen to have a race car driver or owner or fan in your life.
Or a dartboard and you want a picture to throw darts at.
And virtually all of our listeners fit that category. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, and Dittman Motorsports sponsoring as well. Before we get to all the news we have tonight, we got some fun stuff. We got Big D's Pizza we'll be giving away a little bit later with tonight's How Many award, last week's winner as well. First, let's bring up our champions from Attica Raceway Park this past year.
Have we got room in the room?
We got room.
Oh, there they are.
Since we don't have Jerry with us, got the nice four square going. Devin Shiels, Trey Jacobs, thanks for joining us and congratulations on your championship.
Thanks for having me.
Again, Devin.
Say something, Devin. I think your mic might not be working. Yeah,
Oh, no.
you got something going on with that. You need different earbuds.
How about now?
Hey, now we
yeah,
can
there
hear you.
you go.
Okay.
Well,
You're a
thanks
race
for
car
having
driver, not a technical
Yeah.
guy. Let's start out. I mean, feel free to chime in whenever, either of you two. But we're going to start off with talking to Trey here. I found it hard to believe that this was you got your first Attica win this year.
Yeah, we ran second a lot of times. I think they said 6 or 7 times before we were able to finally win one. And I think a lot of people kind of found it a little hard to believe. We were knocking on the door a lot, and just for whatever reason, seemed like we couldn't close one out, and felt really good then to finally get the first one there.
I was going to ask, how big a relief was it to get that monkey off your back?
Yeah, it was huge. After a little while, you just start thinking, what do I got to do to win one of these things? And it was more of a relief than really anything on that night. That I was excited, obviously, but just felt more relief. Like, okay, now we got one out of the way. Now, hopefully, we'll start clicking them off.
Did you find your way to the front stretch okay?
Yeah, I'd been down there plenty of times with my dad, so I knew right where we were going. It was about time for me to get my picture taken in front of the race car instead of standing there with him.
Yeah.
And speaking of your dad, Dean Jacobs, you're just the second father-son duo to win a championship at Attica, and actually the first to do it in the 410s. Wayne Moffitt Jr. and Sr. Did it in street stocks and limited lates. So, I mean, how big is that for you? Is that mean a little bit extra to you?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I couldn't believe that there weren't any other father sons yet, and I'm sure farther we go on down the road, I'm sure more father sons will be doing it now. I mean, Chad Kemenal's got a kid racing now, and a bunch of the guys around my dad's age now have sons racing. So it was pretty cool to be the first ones to do it in the 410 sprint cars. And then for my dad to win the track championship over at Wayne County this year in his last year, it was pretty cool for us to both get one at our own tracks. So it meant a lot.
So you say that was his last year. So he's done. He's retiring. I've heard race car drivers say they retire.
Yeah. How's that work?
Yeah, he says he's done, and I actually believe him this time. I don't think he really cares to do it anymore. He's having a lot of fun with our deal with me, and he's I think 58 now, and I think
He's just a puppy, huh?
See that guy right there?
Yeah.
He's in his 70s. He's still racing.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. I think I could see him maybe if he gets the right phone call, maybe hopping in something to run, like maybe the Pete Jacobs Memorial race for his grandpa, or some of the bigger shows around Wayne County. But beyond that, I really think he's ready to hang it up, and he doesn't really have anything else to prove in my eyes, or any of us that support him's eyes. He's accomplished a lot.
Don't leave a spare rod end laying around anywhere, because he'll build a race car around it. That happens.
Yeah, he's already mentioned we have a few cars now with our own deal, and I've talked to some different owners and whatnot about, and he's kind of mentioned that if I do happen to land a ride in something else, maybe he'll jump in the 3J car a little bit here and there. So who knows what could happen.
Now you have a family operation you run. It is your father also part of that, or is he out of a different stable?
Yeah, well, the car my dad was driving for Jerry McClure in a 9 car out of just right around here at Wayne County, and our deal, me and my dad own our whole operation with my car. So it's just me and him. Probably, more so him as an owner, and then I'm just the driver and pitch in where I can. Me and Dad work on it throughout the week, and then we have crew help. And I had Bonsai Bruns as crew chief to come to the racetracks on the weekends, and he'll come to the shop usually a night a week. And but yeah, for the most part, we're just a team, me and Dad together on my deal, and then his racing. He hasn't really had to drive for himself for a long time. He's been fortunate to have a lot of car owners, and even through this year was his 40th year racing, and he's still able to have a car owner. In today's world, car owners are kind of few and far between, so he's been pretty fortunate.
How much does he share? How much of his knowledge, racing knowledge, has he shared with you? And does he still continue to share it, or have you reached the point where you don't need his advice anymore?
Yeah, he's giving me a lot, especially when I was first getting going in the 305 deal. And even still, he's always giving me input. And I think just more recently, like this year, he kind of sits back, and I think he knows that I know what to do. And doesn't give me too much input. I kind of feel like sometimes if he's telling me too much, it just gets me flustered. So I think he just trusts that I know what to do with the race car, and he helps with setup, and we'll discuss what the race car is doing, what I'm feeling, and it's good to talk it over with him, because when I tell him what I'm feeling, he knows exactly what I'm talking about because he's done it forever. So usually then we work through what changes need made, and he just sits back and tells me to do what you can every night. And that's about as far as it goes.
Does he ever come to you for advice?
Maybe like a couple nights if I go out like to qualify before him or something like that, or if I'm in an earlier heat race and he's in the staging lane or different times, I'll kind of tell him what the racetrack's doing. But for the last year or two, he's mostly just raced Wayne County, and nobody can give him any advice around there. He could drive around that place with his eyes closed. So he's as good as anybody around that place. And so he doesn't really have any need to ask me for any pointers or anything, because he knows what he's doing.
When's the last time the two of you raced against each other?
It would have been, just say the last race of the year at Wayne County. Unfortunately, I broke in a heat race, but anytime I raced Wayne County this year, he was there. Actually, both wins. I won 2 races at Wayne County this year, and both of them, I believe, he ran second. So
that's all right.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice beating the old man. But yeah, so any night I ran there this year, he was there, and it was awesome. I really cherished it because I knew it was coming to an end before long. So anytime I could get racing with him, a couple side-by-side battles, or if I got behind him, I maybe pushed a little extra hard just to,
I understand that.
Yeah. So it was always fun.
I was going to ask you if you raced him any different than any of the other competitors, maybe took it a little easier. Sounds like you push it a little harder.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody, it's just a race car. You don't think much about who's in it, except for when it is your dad. And I say I might have pushed harder, but I push anytime I try to pass everybody. It doesn't matter whether it's dad or somebody I don't even know. So it's just another car out there on the racetrack. I don't think a whole lot about it. I knew over the past couple of years at Wayne County, if I could drive by him, then my race car
you were golden.
Really good. Yeah. I must have been operating if I was able to get by him, because I know how good he gets around that place.
So what would you say your biggest win of your career so far has been?
The first one at Attica was big. My very first ever win was at Wayne County. That was cool just because my great-grandfather built the place. And so that was neat.
I did not know that.
Yeah. My great-grandfather, Trey Jacobs, built Wayne County Speedway. I'm not for sure what the year is, but he built it. And I believe my dad got his first win there. I'm not sure about Uncle Kenny or Lee. Well, I know Lee won 360 race. That was probably the first race he ever won. So it was cool for me to just get my first ever win at the family track. And then the most exciting night I'd say was the second win this year at Attica, just because I ran third for a little bit and then ran second the whole race until the last corner and was able to sneak by and get the win coming to the checkered. So that was the most exciting, but you never forget the first one. And then the first one at Attica really meant a lot because although my great-grandfather built Wayne County and it's the closest track to home for me, I feel like Attica is my home track. I have more laps there than I do anywhere else. And I've just raced there a lot more than anywhere else.
Now, do you have a favorite track to run on at least?
Yeah, I love Attica. It seems I love it just because I run really well there recently. And, but Eldora was fun going there for the first time. It was fun, a big high speed joint. Went to West Virginia Motor Speedway, which
yeah,
the highest of speeds. So that was fun. We went down there a couple times, and Waynesfield's a blast. Atomic's a blast. Really, I like them all. I mean, there's nights where different places aren't as much fun, but it still beats sitting at home or going out or doing whatever. Any night you're at a racetrack's better than a night away from one.
a lot of open wheel guys always rate Waynesfield highly.
Yeah,
it's wicked. It's the only way to describe that place. Everything happens so fast.
Yep.
It's just a wicked little joint. It's really unique. That's the only place that I've raced on that I can't really compare to anywhere else yet. I'm sure I'll see something else like it hopefully someday, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Now, do you have any other drivers, not including family, that you would consider, a major rival to you? Anybody that, you're always, I got to beat this guy tonight?
No, not so much a rival. I mean, you get into point battles and whatnot, like Attica deal. We were in some point battles, but I don't consider any one guy a rival. It's just every night you show up, you want to beat them all. So I wouldn't really say there's any rivalries. It's just I appreciate like at Attica this year, especially we had Cole Macedo in the 18 car. It was really good all year. DJ Foose was really good all year. Then you have Stuart Brubaker, Craig Mintz, Byron Reed when he's there. All them guys. All of them together kind of pushed us to really step up and every single night. And you got to have all those guys. You can't really focus on just one because, on any given night at Attica, I think there's probably 8 to 10 race cars in the pits that could win. So, it's the overall, the higher the competition, the more you have to step up. And I just think it makes everyone better and creates a better product for the fans. And that's why Attica, in my mind, and I think a lot of people's minds, is probably the premier local racetrack in Ohio.
Yeah, a lot of sprint car drivers come to this area, for all the tracks that are here, and you got a lot of, I guess, to hone their skills against all the great competition around here.
Right.
Did you run any of the AFCS stuff this year, or did you run the whole series?
No, I signed up for the point deal just because I really like what Dwayne's doing.
Right.
With that deal, and I wanted to support it, and become a member. I paid the membership fee, but I missed, I think 3 or 4 of the races.
Okay.
So I jumped around. I was actually driving. I mean, I drove in all 7 different sprint cars this year in the dirt UMP modified. So I jumped around a lot. So
it's open wheel, Scott.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah, it is.
It was different. I raced it 3 times, and I feel like the last time.
Did you feel like it was a slow motion?
Yeah, but it's just different. I feel like finally the 3rd time I drove it was the first night I was driving it, and the car wasn't driving me. So it was just a whole different animal, but it's fun. And the narrow tires are just a whole different deal.
Yeah,
it's a completely different feel than a sprint car. I tried driving it into the corner like I did sprint car, first lap, hot lap, and we ended up in the fence. So It was a whole different ball game, but it was a lot of fun.
So what are your plans for next year? Are you gonna defend your championship there at Attica? Run for championships at any other tracks?
As of right now, I don't plan on doing any point track championships. We've kicked around a little bit.
Let me ask you this real quick. Did you plan on doing the points at Attica at the beginning of the season?
Really,
or did
no.
it just kind of happen?
I mean, we've always, like, I've run the points there a couple years now, and we've always usually ended up at Attica on Friday nights. It's close to home, and really there aren't a whole lot of places to race on Friday nights for 410 sprint cars. And it's close to home, and it pays good. But I wanted to keep my options open in case, something came up. I was jumping in and out of different rides and doing different things, and I didn't want to be tied down to any one track. So we weren't planning on it. And then we got partway through the year, and I was first, second, basically the whole year. So then by the time it hit about halfway, when we were leading the points, why not? We need to stick it out, because that paycheck at the end of the year can help a lot with like motor rebuild and everything. So it was probably about halfway through the year we made the decision that we were definitely going to go to Attica every Friday night, and going into next year, I don't think I don't think we'll end up doing that. I'll end up at Attica more nights than not, but I also want to keep my schedule open to. We're hoping to gain a little more funding, some sponsorship help, and I'm looking to get out more. I want to get out on the road a little bit, and
I know you've run some. I know you've run some All-Stars shows. Any thoughts of just dedicating to that?
Yeah, that's my goal.
All right.
With our team right now, we don't quite have the backing and the funds to jump on the All-Star deal full time right at this time. But we would love to build our family team into that level, and I'm always pursuing other options too. With other car owners, I've been making some phone calls and just trying to get my name out there, because that's my end goal, would be to get on the road and start at the All-Star deal, and then see if it could go further than that. I'd like to get to the point where I'm driving race cars full time, and
sure,
and can support me and my soon-to-be wife, and hopefully some little ones here someday.
What if Scott Bloomquist called you up and said, "Hey, I want you to drive my late model next year, full Lucas Oil Dirt Series"?
Kind of a Nick Hoffman deal.
What would you do? What would you say to that?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I've said for a while now, I'd love to jump in a late model. Especially the high level guys like that. Late models race for big money all the time. Really bigger money than sprint cars. There's a lot more money in them, I believe. I actually have my mom's cousins with Keith Berner, and he raced late models for years. He has AccuForce shock dynos right down the road in Millersburg, and I've spent some time over there at his shop. He's got chassis dyno, and I look at the late models in there, and I'm like, man, these things are just crazy. It's like a foreign language to me. Sprint cars is so easy. Everything's just open, and the late model deal is just, there's so much more to it. But I would love to get in one. After getting in that modified, I really started thinking, I'm like, man, I'd like to jump in a late model. And
what would your dad think of that?
Dad tried to drive one once, and I think he spun out 4 or 5 times through hot laps in the heat race, and he didn't even run it for the feature. But he wouldn't even jump into modified this year. The guy I raced for had 2 of them, and he wanted Dad to jump into one, and he wouldn't do it. He just wasn't about it. But yeah, I'm sure he would support me getting in a late model. I don't see why not, especially because, like I said, the amount of money they race for, and I just like getting in any race car, and I feel like the more cars you drive, the better overall you're going to be. I mean, look, Kyle Larson's perfect example. The kid's unbelievable, and
yeah, beyond unbelievable.
Yeah, so I would love to get in a late model just to try it, and who knows, I could fall in love with it. So
you still have your backup car, Devin?
Nope, it's gone.
Oh,
okay.
no.
I
Left-
tried.
left 2 Fridays ago.
Oh,
Kenny Jacobs turned some laps at Oakshade on a Wednesday in Brian Ruman's car.
Yeah, I'm sure Uncle Kenny did much better than my dad did. Dad actually drove. It was DJ Miller's car, and he got in it one night at Hilltop Speedway, and I was pretty young then, but it wasn't very exciting to watch. He did more circles than anything spinning out. So
Yeah, Kenny, he was on the gas, and it was dry, slick. So he used some tires up.
When was this, Devin?
This was back in 07 or 08.
Okay.
They were supposed to be doing a special race, and he was going to drive Ruman's car, and we were there on a Wednesday practicing, and just to get him some laps and to get me some laps. And he was up on the high side, just letting it eat.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it almost made me not want to go back out, but the quieter car turned the fastest lap. That's all I'm going to say.
so, Trey, if you, Devin, and Jamie, the 3-track champions this year at Attica, were all in equally prepared modifieds, who's going to win that race at Attica?
Ooh, I don't know. I wouldn't bet on myself. I got a few nights in one.
I was going to say, it sounds like you got the most experience in a modified.
Yeah, Jamie's got the dirt truck experience.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Those things look like a handful. And I think he drove a crate late some. And I feel like the late model experience would probably play a little bit better into the modified side of things. I bet there'd be, but at least between me and Jamie, there'd probably be a few caution flags. But I wouldn't bet on myself on that one. I'm not that experienced at it yet.
All right, fair enough. Any sponsors or anybody that helped out in your car you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Jamie Horn and Dr. Nicole Horn, Performance Foot and Ankle, they helped out a lot and continue to help. Jeff Andrews with Integrity Auto and Truck Sales in Bucyrus. He came on board partway through this year and helped out a ton. I got my dad's cousin Randy Jacobs with DAC Vitamins and Minerals. He helped out a lot, helped us get our better motor rebuilt right before the Brad Doty Classic. And then there's just Skip Hoffman with Skip's Auto and Truck Repair in Marion. He's helped out a lot, buys tires quite a bit throughout the year. And then just, we got a lot of really small sponsors that every few $100, $1,000 goes a long way with a team as small as ours. So probably I'm not able to think of them all like right off the top of my head right now, but every little bit helps a ton. And then all the work that my dad and Tim Urian and Bonsai runs and my little cousin Kale, they've put a lot of work into the thing, and none of it goes unnoticed, and I really appreciate all of them.
All right, one last question for you. Thomas Cole wants to know what advice your dad gave you when you started in sprints.
He's just at first I think it was just the harder you run the thing, the easier it'll be to drive with 305s, and that helped. Just because I had zero racing experience until I got in a sprint car, so I never raced a go-kart. I never raced anything my whole life, and I'd watched my dad race a lot, and so my first night in a sprint car, I was kind of all over the place to start out, and then I learned, the harder you run the thing, it actually makes the thing handle a little easier. And then basically my dad's advice all the time is just do what you can. Focus on your car, focus on your race, and don't worry about everybody else out there. Just run your race. And that's big for me, it's helped me, try to manage my equipment pretty well. And it seems to be working so far.
All right. Well, good luck next year and whatever you may have. Do you have the next race on your calendar yet, or do you not even know next time you're going to be on the track?
No, I mean, I've kicked around possibility of maybe a Chili Bowl deal, but
I was going to ask about that.
yeah, that it's just it's crazy. You have to pay so much money and I don't agree with paying to drive anything. I'm not just going to fork over money to run 1 week that I could spend on my own operation that lasts a lot longer. So I've kicked around a little bit of that, but I don't see that happening. And as of right now, with our own deal, who knows? Could end up over at Lincoln. They start the season pretty early, I believe in February over in Pennsylvania. So we're wanting to get over there a little bit. And if my phone rings or if one of my phone calls, if the right deal comes together, who knows? I would for sure be open to going to Florida in February and starting the year out with All-Stars. So
On somebody else's dime.
yes, absolutely. So yeah, I'm keeping all options open and see what happens.
What about Gateway Dirt Nationals? Don't they run modifieds?
Yeah, the
have
modified deal. Yeah, I'm not sure like that.
Not going to get them down there.
Nah, it's just a local, like Wayne County, and the guy I told him if I'm around home, if I'm at Wayne County, I'll drive it. But beyond that, I'm always going to be a sprint car racer, I'd say, and whether it be Wayne, I've run non-wing sprint car a few times too, so I would be open to that also, or Silver Crown deal, but yeah, I stick with the sprint car deal as my main focus. Then the modified is just kind of extra play. Like it was fun.
Gotcha. What about you, Devin? Any plans ever to get to the Gateway Dirt Nationals?
No, I kind of respect my equipment too much.
That's just sheet metal.
Sheet metal and rear ends and roll cages. I think I've seen it all down there.
Yeah.
That's just a little track.
It does give the advantage to normal guys. Like the average guy can actually win there, and that's the coolest thing about it.
I don't think you can be normal and go there.
Oh no, not in the head.
Yeah.
But it's if you're a local racer, you got a shot at it because the track is so small and it's almost survival is what wins the race.
Well, how does this championship season at Attica compare to the previous two championships at Attica?
That's you, Devin.
Yeah, it was a little tougher this year. We thought we were out of it there with I think 3 nights ago, and then the guys up front started having trouble, and we were always hitting our marks every week. We weren't winning tons of races this year, but we were finishing second or third every night, and it just that always helps. And we used one car, one motor, didn't tear stuff up, we didn't break that much. I think my worst night was 8th, and Markham got into the back of me and popped my left rear tire, and it was luckily just enough time to change it and get back out there, but I just kind of couldn't go anywhere after starting to tail. I struggled my way back to 8th is basically what we did.
Okay.
But it's fun winning championships. That's for sure.
Well, you got 2 again. You've done this twice now? You got the Oakshade Attica double.
Yeah, 17. We first time we brought out an XR1 car. We won Oakshade and Attica, and I didn't think I'd ever be able to do that again, but this year just kind of fell into place, and we were in the right spot at the right time.
Now I know that you and Ryan Missler are kind of buddies. He's got quite a few championships there at Attica. Is it your goal to one-up him and eventually top his number of championships?
Yeah, I was really going for Rusty's at Oakshade, get more than he had, or tie him at least. But I think I'm just going to have to go with the overall total. We're ahead of him.
All right, how does he feel about you winning the championships?
Oh, he likes it when I beat him.
Okay.
Really?
Sure he does. So how did you manage to stay so consistent, not getting into having any problems or staying out of trouble on the track? And I guess your equipment seems to be pretty reliable.
Yeah, we put a new rear end in this year. That helped alleviate some of the wear and tear from the years before. In our primary car, so everything was fresh under the rear end, and that helps. But I'm not gonna run somebody over. I'm gonna race you hard, but I don't want to touch. I don't like doing body work. I like the car looking good, and I respect who I'm racing. Unless they rub me, then I have a little less respect for you. But no, I'm kind of picky when it comes to working on the cars. And we brought on Jason Brown, who helped Steve Kester out last year, and he helped us get organized. And this year we kind of learned. It was like trial and error with us trying to learn shock spring loads and different setups, and that kind of put us behind at the beginning of the year a little bit, because we were fighting some stuff with the shocks, and it was basically learning each other. And because I can't come in and say, hey, I need turns here, turns there. I can feel it, but I just don't know how to explain it to somebody. And we worked it out where we started understanding what each other were saying, and we started there at the end. We were pretty fast.
You kept it rubber side down this year.
Yes, yeah, that always helps. That's probably was one of my worst years was last year. Not so much at Attica, but Oakshade, I just couldn't get through the rough stuff, and we were in the wrong spot at the wrong time when somebody spun out, and it snowballed from there on. It was bad.
All the tracks seem to have a lot of character this year, probably because we had so much rain. You talked about getting through the halls. That was a major thing almost everywhere this year.
Yeah, Attica was pretty good. Attica, they put some more clay on the track this year. It didn't seem to stick for part of the year, and then once it blew off, it kind of started getting racy, and it was a little hard to pass at Attica, but the track was smooth for the most part every night we were there. They do a lot of work there. I mean, they spend some money on fuel, getting that track ran in, watering during the week. They just have the equipment and the knowledge and the workers. It is amazing what they can do at Attica.
Trey, what was your thought on track conditions generally this year? And what kind of track do you like?
Yeah, I agree. Like Attica, it's a top-notch facility. Everything they do, from the way they prep the track to the way they run the program every week, it's really good. And yeah, I thought overall, it was pretty good. It's a lot of it just depends on the weather and circumstances. They tried to have a day race early in the year. I think it was opening night, and it got really, really blown off and slick. But you can expect that when the sun's beating down on the track all day and you're racing during the day.
Seems like the hammer down tracks tend to get a little choppy.
Yeah,
especially this year.
Yeah, which I prefer. I like slick, smooth. Just have a decent bottom, decent top. Where if you get too hammered down and fast, a lot of times everybody's the same speed, and it's just kind of follow the leader. So, yeah, I like when a racetrack really slicks off and you got to use both feet a lot, and
yep. I
feel like it brings the driver out.
Your thoughts on that, Devin?
Yeah, he's spot on. I like the slicker. I'm kind of a bottom feeder, and I gotta work on that, getting off the bottom and get up on the top and try to run that middle a little bit. But yeah, it's once it slicks off, if it's hammered down, it's fun for a few laps, and then you're wearing your motor out. You're just abusing your equipment, and it's gonna come back and bite you probably 2 weeks down the road.
So what would if Tony Stewart, Devin, were to call you up tomorrow and ask you to run his sprint car for next season, what would you say?
I'd say yes, but my wife would say no, I'm sure. Yeah,
Family problems there.
yeah, there'd be some arguing over that. Well, now, I mean, it seems like late models are getting up and over, not nearly as much as the sprint cars, but they're starting to.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't get Ron started on that. Back on the whole
Aero.
Yeah, aero, suspension, all that stuff. I mean, it seems like, over the years, the late models seem to have changed at least the way they ride on the tracks as compared to the sprint cars. I don't think there's much on the suspension. Well, I guess I don't know enough about sprint cars to know what you can change on the suspension
with the late models
the
late models going upside down. It's a combination of aero and chassis dynamics. The cars are halfway rolled over in the corner anyway, so it doesn't take a lot.
Maybe you need a big sprint wing on top of the late models.
I'm all for that.
Well, I flipped one back in 04 or actually 03, and there was no aero and no chassis dynamics then either.
You had to be really trying to do it back then.
They were on three wheels most of the time anyways back then.
Yeah.
So what would you consider the biggest win of your career so far, Devin?
Probably the two races at Attica or 2000 to win. I was hoping this year was going to be the Barney Oldfield, but I screwed up and just kind of got stuck and got complacent behind some lap cars but the $2,000 to win races at Attica, probably my most favorite one in the car was this year. We passed Irie on the last lap to take the lead, and kind of did a slide job to take the lead, and it was a race I didn't think I was gonna have any success in because the setup wasn't the way I liked it, and it was a little off. But I found something with 5 laps to go that got me to the lead, and it was exciting in the car. Hopefully, it was exciting to watch too.
Yeah, I watched that one on pay-per-view. Sometimes the car's right and the driver's wrong. Was that what you discovered that night?
No, it was the car was
wrong.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. No, the car was just a little at the beginning was a little off, and then it kind of came to me, and I found the track was pretty much dominant on the bottom except for in 3 and 4. 3 and 4, you could run the high side really well. And I think the driver was getting madder in the car, and I started railing the outside on 3 and 4, and it picked up a lot of speed down the straightaway, and it was just enough to shoot by him there in 1 and 2, and then get back to the bottom.
Going back to this race with all three of you guys, the champions at Attica, instead of modifieds this time, you all three are in equally prepared tricycles. 1 lap around Attica. Who's going to win that?
Who's ever the smallest and youngest, because it definitely ain't going to be me.
Me and Jamie are probably about the same size. I'm a little younger. We'd probably
sounds like Trey's got it.
We'd be banging elbows for that one.
Yeah, I'd be just pulling into the pits and taking the night off. I'd probably blow out my knee or something.
All right. And any sponsors or anyone else you want to thank?
Just thank my crew. Jason for helping out this year. Dylan. Denny Wenzel comes down to Attica pretty much every weekend. He's fun to have at the track. And my brother comes out and helps, Darren. We'll see. My son Braden's been going to a lot more races, and he's starting to get a little more interest in it. Now that he's almost driving age, he's kind of hitting around taking out the backup car or doing something. I told him I really like him to just get through high school sports and enjoy his high school career.
You just sold your backup car?
Yeah, but there's a reason we sold it.
Okay.
There's one in the works. Yeah,
right.
we got a new one coming.
All right.
Should be here maybe January, sometime in December, maybe.
Same
Just
car.
depends. Yeah, we're gonna do a Rocket XR1. They just have it figured out where it's racing for idiots. I think it is. They give you all the numbers you need, all the measurements. It makes it a lot easier. We're pretty much on a standard setup most of the nights. They just have everything simplified.
So what are your plans for next year then?
I've got a daughter graduating high school, so I think Attica is going to be out of the question. We're going to run there as much as possible because I like the track. But we've got spring break. They start so early, spring break, senior trip kind of thing is going to happen in Florida. So I think I'm going to miss a couple nights there. And then besides, I don't know, Oakshade even. I'm going to be tearing this race shop apart, which we're already started working on it, trying to get it ready for the graduation party. And unless my wife lets me have it on a Wednesday or something, I think we might be out of Oakshades too. And just hit and miss where we can. Tri-City's owner and Merritt's owner just bought Thunderbird. So I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to happen and what he's going to do to it, if he's going to do UMP or that's one track I haven't been to yet.
Will Jason be back with you next year?
I think so. It sounds like it.
Good.
We seem to get along real good. He comes up once a week, just helps me, just kind of takes some pressure off of me getting the car done. It's because it's just me and my dad at the race shop, and then Jason helps. We've learned a lot this year just because we're having to do it ourselves. We're putting shocks on the Smasher. I cheese him because he about wears my spring Smasher out, and he's wearing the shocks out more in the trailer than I am on the racetrack. But no, he's helped out. I think he's going to be back. We're just going to have to pick and choose where we go and what tracks we go to, and wherever we're having fun, that's where we're going to go.
Until you find yourself leading the points at some track halfway through the season, then you're like, all right, I guess we're going to have to go for the championship again.
Here we go again.
If we could do it with missing a few nights, that'd be pretty good.
I've seen, I've seen drivers do pretty well, even missing a couple nights. So,
yep, that's it. I don't mind running for points. It just because I'm consistent, so it usually helps me in the points. But it is, you miss a lot of the big races here and there because you're stuck at one track and you can't go, or you're like I like the closer tracks because it saves me a lot of work and a lot of time. I can just load up and get there real quick. And seems like Oakshade, we've been showing up for almost time for hot laps, and that we get the car out and get it ready, and we're usually ready to go by 7.
So that schedule would kind of eliminate running some of the Summer Nationals races?
We could hit some, I guess, because as long as I get my daughter's graduation party done and the senior trips in April, so once we get those done, we're wide open then.
all right. Well, we wish you luck next year in whatever you do. And Trey, same to you. And we appreciate you guys coming on tonight. And congratulations on your championships.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Let's see it. Let's do this again next year.
Yeah, well, Devin's like, well, we'll see. All right, guys, we'll see you.
A couple of well-placed rainouts, could help.
Yeah, it could.
There you go. Devin Shiels, Trey Jacobs, a couple of champions there from Attica Raceway Park. And we'll try and get a hold of Jamie Miller here in just a moment. And let's get some of his input as the 305 champion. First, got a little bit of racing roundup from last weekend. The Monster Mash at Montpelier Motor Speedway. It was kind of
the Mudster Mash.
Kind of, yeah. We weren't sure it was going to happen. Friday night was postponed to Sunday. Saturday was real iffy, and they finally got it going. And it sounded like there's quite a few cars there. I was talking to several of the people there, and I guess it was messy, but I mean, you had to expect that going in with all the rain ahead of time. Larry Bowes did everything he could to make it happen. He was bound and determined to make it happen, and he did. So, and I got the results here, actually just sent from our sick co-host Jerry Keyser.
All right.
Under the weather. Tristan Chamberlain, he actually is that Dwayne's son?
Yeah.
I believe it's Dwayne. Yeah, Dwayne Chamberlain's son. Insane Dwayne won his first career late model feature win on Saturday night. Dylan Woodland won the UMP modified feature. Dalton Smith was the Hornet feature winner with a last corner pass. Rain halted the super stock feature with 5 laps in shortly after midnight. They what was that?
Rain, that's all.
Yeah. Well,
that's the story of the year.
They finished it up on Sunday. Lee Hobbs won the makeup super stock feature. Andrew Short won the makeup goblin stock feature. Those were leftovers from Saturday night that were run Sunday. Josh Morton won his first career late model feature on Sunday afternoon. Will Bennett won the modified feature. And, is Will Bennett, is that any relation to Little Joe?
I don't know.
I wonder.
A lot of second generation, third generation.
Landon Arcaro won the Hornet feature. Lee Hobbs grabbed his second Skull Trophy in the Super Stocks. And Andrew Short pulled off the double in the Goblin Stocks. So, and have you seen those trophies with the Skull?
Yeah,
the Monster
I did.
Mash? Those are awesome.
They were cool.
I want one of those. Maybe next year.
You got to go to the race to get one, Scott.
Yeah. Is that how that works? I got to thank Dittman Motorsports for performance parts, custom bodies, fabrication, racing fuels, Hoosier tires. He still has Hoosier tires. I just got some the other day. Yeah. So if you need some tires, he still has them. Give Craig a call, 419-283-8580, and tell him the Hammer Down Racing Report sent you. Also, Big D's Pizza, subs, ribs, chicken, and more in Clyde. Don't call him for Hoosier tires. He will not deliver Hoosier tires, but he does have other round things, the pizzas.
Yeah.
Order online at orderbigdspizza.com. Big on taste, not on price. Your chance to win a Big D's pizza coming up here in a little bit with tonight's How Many. You want to talk about Ron Miller race cars for a minute, and I'll see if we can.
I just want to give some advice to racers. If there's some parts that you think you're going to need, I would start working on that now. Back orders in our industry have been very prevalent. Cost increases are going up. Typically, there's price increases the first of the year, so we're heading in on those price increases, and they've already been insane. So anything you're thinking about, start working on it now. And if you've got any tires left over that you think are maybe usable, treat them carefully, because I think.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Is this Jamie?
Yeah.
Jamie, Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, Hammer Down Race Report. Is this a good time?
Yep.
All right. So we got all 3 champions on with us this evening. Jamie Miller, the 305 champion this year. You've got the 2005 championship and the 2019 championship there at Attica. How does this year compared to those previous championships?
Well, it was a good year. We can't complain about it.
Anything different this year than those years?
No, we've pretty much been doing the same thing and keep having similar results, so probably won't switch it up too much.
You'll be back in the same car next year?
Yep, we're going to do the same thing again.
Very good.
31 all-time 305 wins at Attica. That's good for second all-time on the win list. You got 4 wins this season. What do you attribute your success in the 305 class at Attica to?
I don't know. We've just been really good there for a lot of years, and it's starting to show.
Is it the car? Is it your equipment? Is it the driver, or a combination of all those?
Probably all the above. I mean, I've been in probably 20 different race cars over, 20 years of racing, and won in about every one of them, I think.
So what would you consider it's your biggest win of your career?
Geez. I don't know if I have the biggest one. Maybe the first one. That's when it all started.
Those are always fun.
Yep.
And the memory stays there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So what, tell us about that first win. When was it?
2002, maybe 2001, 2001 was my first or second full season racing.
Now, did you lead the entire race, or was it like an amazing last lap, last corner pass?
No, I think we led quite a bit of it. I don't know that I started up front. I maybe started in the first couple rows and got the lead. And I remember battling Brian Scott for the win with about 5 to go and ended up winning it.
Any rivalries that have developed between you and anyone else over the years?
Oh, yeah, that Paul Weaver.
Paul Weaver.
Yeah, I understand that.
I hope he's listening.
He doesn't like to come on the radio.
But he listens pretty well.
Well, heck, you should have told me that. I'd have been at his house when you called me.
So, are you friends with him or not? I mean, what's the deal there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're pretty good friends. I actually helped Paul out one year when I wasn't racing. I just went and crewed with him, and we get along good.
Okay.
Jamie, you ran Attica and Fremont pretty regularly this year. Which one of those is your favorite?
I don't really have a favorite. If it's brown and round, I want to race on it.
I like that. What about Waynesfield? We were talking earlier with Trey, and all the sprint car drivers seem to, a majority of sprint car drivers, I should say, seem to love Waynesfield.
Yeah, that place is fun. It's small, fast, got some banking. It's a nice little bull ring to go race at.
Did you get to run there at all this year?
Yeah, we got a win there. The one time we ran there, I don't remember. I think we ran there twice and we won one of them.
Would you say that's what's your all-time favorite track to run?
Oh, I probably got to say Attica, really. Attica or Chillicothe, one of them two.
Okay. So what are your plans for next year? You said you're going to go for the track championship again at Attica, and
yeah, we'll try to win all 3 championships that we can: Attica and Fremont and the AFCS deal, and maybe try to pick one up in that dirt truck too.
Well, that'd thrill the car builder.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
Wait, when did you start running the truck?
I ran them a few times in the past, and then last year was my first full-time season in one.
And that was the one that Ron built?
Nope, that would have been this year. That was the truck that Ron built.
So is the truck that Ron built, was it a good one?
Oh yeah. That thing's real nice.
Wait, is that the one that you crashed into the tree, Ron?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ron used it in wreck.
Not sure what you're talking about, Scott.
That was like a couple weeks
I heard
ago.
something about a pear tree.
So would you ever let Ron drive your sprint car?
No.
No hesitation there at all. Wow. Would you let Ron back in your dirt truck?
Probably not. He might run into a tree.
At that point, the truck was in control and the driver was just along for the ride.
I hear you.
He did hit it.
Yeah, you'll have them.
Yeah. What's he ran into a tree. What's the craziest thing you've ever run into in a race car?
Oh, hell. The fence, probably.
Yeah.
Have you had any nasty flips?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've had a couple.
What's
had a couple that have been in some magazines.
Oh, no.
What
would you say is the worst?
Non-wing at Fremont.
What happened?
That one laid me up pretty good. Wheel center broke out and just about made her out of the park in turn 1.
Wow.
Now, was that in a 360?
No, that was in a 410.
Oh, okay.
Any plans to run a 410 again?
Oh, I'm probably going to get in that 00 car again next year, off and on.
Okay, cool. We asked this question in different forms of the other champions here. We're going to go back to the tricycles again. If the three of you are equally prepared tricycles, you, Devin Shiels, and Trey Jacobs, one lap around Attica Raceway Park on the tricycles, who's gonna be first back to the finish line?
Shit, I'm just going to stay there and watch them people at it. I'm going to go over that.
I think Devin said he was just going to go back to the pit, so
You-
I guess Trey's going to win
Well,
that one.
God damn it, I'm in then, because I'm at least going to finish second.
Anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors? Anybody that helped you out this year?
Yeah, Ryan French and everybody that helps out on the 26 car, and Ron Miller, Tim Baker for all the deal they do on the dirt truck. You got to have everybody involved to make it all work.
Now, does running the dirt truck? Do you think that does that take anything away from you running the 305? Does it maybe add anything to you running the 305?
No, each one of them is different. From going from, getting in a sprint car to a late model to a dirt truck, they all have their own characteristics and how they need to be drove and how they handle, how they feel, and it's different every time you get in one. I don't know if you don't see a lot of people do it and do well. It's kind of tough, but I adapted pretty well to everything. So
you've driven a lot of different kinds of race cars. What is your favorite? Is the 305 or a 410 sprint car your favorite?
I keep telling everybody when I retire from sprint car racing, I'm going late model racing.
Ron builds those too, I think.
I've been known to, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we might have talk someday.
All right. Well, good luck next year in the 305 and the dirt truck.
Yeah, especially the dirt truck.
Maybe you need to start building sprint cars, Ron. If Ron would build a sprint car, would you drive it, Jamie?
I'll try it.
That's right. Have you built a sprint car before?
No, I've worked on a few, but no.
All right.
I'll bring you one up there, a copy.
There we go.
There you go. All right, Jamie, we appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jamie.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
There you go. There's Jamie Miller, your 305 sprint car champion at Attica Raceway Park for 2021.
And a darn good one, too.
Yeah. Yes. We have mentioned his name quite a bit this year.
We have.
With various wins. So, yeah, congratulations to him and Devin and Trey for everything they've accomplished this year. Got a little bit of racing news to cover, and then we'll get to our Big D's Pizza and who's going to win how many from last week, and we'll do how many for this week. Tom Sprague made the announcement Tuesday. Devin Shiels alluded to this earlier tonight that he has completed the sale of Thunderbird Raceway in Muskegon, Michigan to Michael Blackmer, owner of Tri-City Motor Speedway in Auburn and Merritt Speedway in Lake City. Sprague cites that COVID-19 and tragedy in his personal life have made running a racetrack tough, so he has decided to step back from track management. He will continue to be a car owner, sponsor, and possibly a driver. Blackmer doesn't have any major changes planned, but the All-Star Performance Challenge Series will be included on the schedule.
It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, Scott, because there's not really 3 nights a week up there
I was kind of curious about that
viable.
too. Is he going to be running against himself?
Apparently.
So maybe we'll have to, after we get through our championship shows here, we'll have to reach out to Michael Blackmer.
And he might have a better idea by then
what's going to
plan
for next year with those 3 tracks. Yeah. World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series has announced a $1 million overall point fund, in addition to several new venues for the schedule next season. The World of Outlaws Sprint Series will contest more than 80 events from February to November across 22 states. That's just a lot.
A lot of travel.
They're contending for a $200,000 championship, a $50,000 increase from 2021. For the first time since 2014, the World of Outlaw Sprint Car schedule will feature 4 Ohio tracks with the addition of Atomic Speedway in Chillicothe. Series visits Eldora Speedway 7 times, Attica Raceway Park twice, Sharon Speedway in Hartford twice, and as we mentioned, Atomic Speedway will get 1 date. NASCAR Series star Chase Elliott will make his sprint car racing debut during the 2nd annual Mercer Midget Madness event at Mercer Speedway, I believe that is.
Mm-hmm.
November 23rd through the 24th. Elliott, who made his midget racing debut last year in preparation for his first Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals attempt earlier this year, will drive a 360 sprint. Kyle Larson also plans to compete in the event in both a midget and a sprint. NASCAR officials announced Monday evening that Joe Gibbs racing driver Kyle Busch will be required to undergo sensitivity training following his use of a slur typically used in reference to mentally challenged or disabled individuals. Busch used the word during an interview with NBC Sports after Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway, while detailing his late race altercation with Brad Keselowski. He later posted an apology on social media, and this is what he's going to have to go through sensitivity training for. And there was no mention of the that he says the word shit. That's okay. Yeah. But so this is what he's going to have to go through sensitivity training for.
Well, he drills my ass coming out of 4 for no reason. I mean, where was he going? What was he going to do? Spin me out? He was trying to do a Harvick is what he was trying to do. For what? For 2nd place? To do what? He wasn't going to transfer through with that. He's freaking retarded, man. So stupid. I don't understand these guys. I should beat the shit out of him right now is what I should do, but that doesn't.
So, yeah, there you go. Sensitivity training for Kyle Busch. He's always mad about something. And, of course, Denny Hamlin was pretty pissed off, too.
Yeah.
It seems like the old guys are getting pissed.
I'm surprised NASCAR didn't have anything to say about Hamlin's little maneuver.
Oh, after the race?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute. ARCA Menard Series in 2020 will race 20 times. We had this breaking news during the show last week about the ARCA 2022 schedule coming out. We have the details here. The series will open with the 59th visit to Daytona International Speedway on February 19th and ending with the season championship clash at the series home track, Toledo Speedway, in October, early October, I do believe. And that is going to be the only Toledo Speedway date. So the usual May date will no longer be there.
That's sad.
For ARCA, yeah. Hopefully we'll get good weather for it. Although May can be pretty iffy. I think that they've had a lot of issues with rain with the May date there too. So I guess you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. August 14th, 1953 was the date of the first race at Flat Rock Speedway. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. Next season, Flat Rock will celebrate its 70th season, kicking off on May 7th. You've been racing longer than Flat Rock has. Wait, no, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
You've been around longer than
true.
Dave. That's what I meant to say. May 7th will kick off the 70th season at Flat Rock with late models, figure eights, and street stocks, the same 3 classes that have been featured since 1977. I didn't realize they've been that consistent. That's pretty impressive. Official 70th anniversary celebration will take place Saturday night, July 9th, with the largest fireworks display in the history of the track. That will conclude the
Scott, I'm still sitting here thinking about Kyle Busch and sensitivity training and how incongruent those two really are. Yeah. Oh my God.
Will that make any difference?
Not a chance.
It's almost like throwing an ice cube on the stove.
Watch this, folks.
The Detroit Grand Prix has voted itself off the island and is ready to hit the streets after getting approval from Detroit City Council on Wednesday. The event is owned and operated by Penske Corp and is a key part of the NTT IndyCar Series schedule. The 2022 race will be the final time the race will be held at Belle Isle. And then beginning in 2023, it will move to the streets of downtown Detroit. The race was last held on the streets of Detroit in 1991. And I believe the track's going to be similar to how it used to be back then.
Scott, the Detroit Grand Prix has been going on for years. All you've got to do is catch one of the expressways up there about 5 o'clock.
Well, no, then there's a parking lot if you catch it at 5 o'clock.
Insanity.
At 5 o'clock, it's a parking lot. It's not the Detroit Grand Prix at 5 o'clock. If you want the Detroit Grand Prix, you got to hit it about 10 o'clock at night or
3 in the morning.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Some other results here. The World of Outlaws, Carson Macedo won Friday night at Lawton Speedway. Logan Schuchart was the winner Saturday, Devil's Bowl. It was his 30th career World of Outlaw win at Devil's Bowl. Next up for the World of Outlaws and a lot of other classes, the World Finals at the dirt track at Charlotte. Tonight it was supposed to be starting tonight. Tonight's World Finals event has been postponed due to rain, but that will be going through Saturday.
That's the story of this year.
And well, yeah, that's true. In NASCAR action, Zane Smith won the United Rentals 200 at Martinsville. I believe that was Friday night. The championship 4 in the truck series are Zane Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, and Matt Crafton. In the Xfinity series, Noah Gragson won the Dead on Tools 250 at Martinsville. He joins Austin Cendrick, AJ Allmendinger, and Daniel Hemrick as the 4 championship contenders. And Alex Bowman, of course, the winner of the Xfinity 500 at Martinsville. And championship 4 in the Cup Series, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. Despite Denny Hamlin getting knocked up into the wall and getting his feathers ruffled there and trying to keep Bowman from doing donuts there after he won the race.
And he was pretty successful at that.
Yeah. Kind of blocked him a couple times and nudged him with the front of the car. Yeah.
Did a burnout on his against him.
Kind of strange. And I guess he called him a hack, and then now there's hack shirts being made. It's just, the whole thing is getting childish. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just getting old and cranky. I don't know.
You're not cranky enough, Scott.
I mean, I guess not. Maybe I need some sensitivity training. I don't know. Championships will be decided at Phoenix Raceway. We have the Truck Series tomorrow night. Yeah, I have Sunday 11/5. That's tomorrow night, Friday night, at 8 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 for the Lucas Oil 150. The Xfinity Series will crown their championship at Phoenix on Saturday. That race starts at 8:30 on NBCSN, and then the Cup Series race is at Phoenix on Sunday, 3 o'clock on NBC proper. And speaking of that, your chance to win a Big D's pizza has to do with the NASCAR Cup Series champion. But before we get to that, last week's winner of how many was the question was how many late models will be at Montpelier on Saturday. I believe that I said, I think I picked low. I didn't say 0. I picked the lowest number.
Yeah.
So, and there were 14. So I was closest there. I picked 18. And our online winner also picked 18. That was Kurt Dickey.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Kurt.
Congratulations, Kurt. You get a Big D's pizza. And
on your way back from Clyde, drop a pizza off at Ron Miller Race Cars.
And let me know when you do, because I'll come up and help eat it.
Yeah, Scott's not that far away.
So this week, if you want to win a Big D's pizza, this one's going to be a little complicated.
Ooh.
How many laps will the NASCAR Cup champion lead at Phoenix on Sunday? So we don't even know who the champion is. Whoever the champion is, how many laps will he lead in that race at Phoenix?
Out of 400 laps.
I don't even know how many laps there are.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
how little prep I did for that.
I'm pretty sure it's 400.
Okay. So yeah, that is the question. And a bonus question, you don't get anything for that. You can pick who the champion's going to be. I'm going to go with Kyle Busch as the champion, and I think he's going to lead half the race. You say there's 400 laps in that race?
Kyle Busch?
Who did I say? I said Kyle Larson.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Kyle Busch.
Well, if I did, I meant Larson.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I'm going to go with 206. That's going to be my number. 206. What do you got there?
I'll tell you what. It's going to be Denny Hamlin, and that wasn't part of the question.
No?
He's going to run second, and he won't lead a single lap.
So a 0. All right. If you'd like to guess, go ahead and put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live. If you're listening to us on Spotify or some other podcast platform, you can still find our excuse me, a face I'm getting all choked up about our Facebook Live or YouTube Live video, and we'll give you until I say right up until race time, 3:00 on Sunday.
All right.
Right up until 3:00 on Sunday to get your guess in. You can only vote once though, so if or guess once. If you put your guess in already, you're done. You're locked in at that number. If you put 2 votes in or 2 guesses, that black flag back there is what you get. So, winner, whoever
Dean Henry agrees with me too.
does he?
Yeah.
He said, oh, he did say 0. So, yeah. Whoever's closest will get that Big D's Pizza, courtesy of Dean Henry there and Big D's Pizza over there in Clyde. And if we have a tie, if you can guess the same number as someone else, that's fine. We'll just spin the Big D's Pizza wheel to break that tie.
That's right.
Should that happen to be. So, and as a bonus, yeah, you can put in who you think it's going to be. Brian Nelson.
Yeah. Brian Nelson.
Brian Nelson.
Whatever.
I like that better. He picked Larson, so we'll see. Robin says Harvick's going to win. Wait, is Harvick one of the choices? He's not even eligible. Harvick, I can tell you, is not going to win, but she does like 35 as your number. So
Yay.
there might be a little brown nosing going on there. I could be wrong. This weekend, there is some racing happening. Before we wrap things up here, Sandusky Speedway is back in action with the Renegade Nationals Saturday. It's a 1,500 to win for the front-wheel drive Renegades. Pit gates open at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Spectator gates at 11:30 a.m. and racing at 1:30 p.m. General admission just $5 for that show. That's a Saturday afternoon show at Sandusky Speedway. I emailed the forecast or the schedule over to Ryan after he was done today, so I didn't get the forecast, but I looked it up. It's supposed to be nice this weekend, close to 60.
It is
sunny this weekend, so
nice weekend.
Should be no problems with the weather. Just wear a jacket, you'll be fine. In case it gets a little breezy there by the lake, it could happen. I don't know. Chris Mize will be happy. Thanks again to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, field correspondents Matt Swanner, John Young, and Doug Dock. Next week on the show, we're going to be talking to the no, you're not Black Flag, Robin. Just the number is the important thing. I'll give a pizza for whoever picks the guy that wins. Okay, so there you go. If you picked a number already and you want to pick the guy that wins, there's another chance for you to win a pizza. I guess it would be 2 separate things.
So it's a pizza double?
Pizza double, yes.
Oh,
so technically,
wow.
I guess technically, if you pick the right number and the driver, you could get 2 pizzas.
Pretty amazing.
Or we could have 2 different winners. So
thank you, Dean Henry.
Yeah, thank you, Dean. Always making it fun there. So if you've already picked a number, you can go ahead and pick a guy. Again, your championship 4, the ones that are eligible to actually win, include Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. So there you go. As I was saying, next week we'll have Flat Rock Speedway champions here. I know we have Dennis Wisman Jr. Nailed down, and Kyle. I'll let you say his last name.
Metapenigan.
Yep, something like that. Eric Lee, the late model champion. We may do a pre-recorded thing with him because he's unavailable next Thursday night. So I have to do a little pre-recorded deal with him. So we'll see.
We have the technology.
We do. But yeah, we'll have some Flat Rock Speedway track champions on next week. And then 2 weeks from tonight, Oakshade Raceway champions. We'll have Devin Shiels back, Rusty Smith, Gabe Mueller, and Eric Carr will be joining us, champions there from Oakshade. And then 3 weeks from tonight, it's Thanksgiving, so we're taking a night off.
Ooh.
So you got 2 more weeks of us.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Now, were the late model sportsmen, did they have a track champion?
At Toledo, they did.
But not at the Rock.
There was under the Toledo site.
Okay.
So we're going to have them on the Toledo Championship show, which I think is going to be.
I didn't know if they had separated that out.
I was ready to wrap up the show here. I forgot we had a hammer down hotline call to play back here.
Who won last week's pizza?
Kurt Dickey.
Oh, that's right. Sorry about that.
All righty then.
Yeah, keep moving.
Let's
move along.
If you want to call, leave us a message, get playback anytime. You can call anytime. We'll play it back at the end of the show. 419-318-3081. It just has to be racing related. Once again, that's 419-318-3081. This is a call from this past week. It might sound familiar to you. Hey, is this the Hammer Down hotline?
Hammer Down.
Hey, I'm looking for Scat Hammer. Anybody know Scat Hammer?
I'm so confused now because you look like Fred Flintstone, but you sound like Peter Griffin.
I'm Peter Griffin on Halloween, dressed up like Fred Flintstone. Yeah.
I guess that didn't really have anything to do with racing, but that was our call, so we can play it back if we want, right?
It must have been because they were asking for Hammer Down hotline.
Yeah, that was us. Don't you remember that? We made that call at the end of the show last week.
do.
Okay, I wasn't sure. You forgot the Kurdicki one. Just making
Well,
sure.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's right. It's the end of the show. Nobody cares anymore. We'll be back next Thursday again with the Flat Rock Champions. Thanks to Oakshade Raceway, Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Dipman Motorsports. Make sure to support all them. Without them, we couldn't do the show.
Make sure to go to our Facebook page, vote for us.
Make sure to vote for us in the Toledo City Paper Best Of. We got that
every single day.
Every single day. We got that link pinned at the top of our Facebook page. So if you ever forget what it is, just click on there. Or you can go to ToledoCityPaper.com, find the media category, and scroll down to podcasts.
Oh,
and also Ryan Weekman under meteorologist.
Yep. I think he's just one block up or 2 blocks up from us. Sure.
So make sure to give some support to the official Hammer Down Racing Report meteorologist, Ryan Weekman. He should actually sign off on the news with that.
Yeah.
I'm your official Hammer Down Racing Report meteorologist, Ryan Weekman, here on WTOL Channel 11. Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.